Well, okay, it is again a Saturday afternoon. Welcome everybody who sees this info session later on. I know there's around 300 people looking at this info session every week afterwards, the recording. That is fun, that is nice. I know there's a big group of people who are with me live. It is much more fun that you're with me live because after the recording, people can ask me any question. And yeah, it is important that you have no doubt, because doubt is poisonous. And my wish is that you are 100% behind this project as a co-owner, and that doubt doesn't poison your passion and your good intentions. So let's start. Who am I? I am Kaat Jacobs, the communication manager of Skyworld Community Platform. And I got in contact with the technology in 2017. It was a mind-blowing experience. I love technology. I love cars. I love traveling. And I am aware that the way we travel now is very poisonous and polluting for the world. And I want to do I'm doing something about it for many, many, many years already, even before I met the technology. So I started to tell everybody about this technology. And a lot of people agreed with me and stepped in as a co-owner. And so my team grew very fast, and because there's a team structure on the platform. And then the board members asked me, are you interested for a business coach course? Because I'm a life coach and a health coach. I was, business was not my niche, but I liked to open my borders and go out of my comfort zone. So I did. And every month for 1 year, we is 130 people from all over the world, to one country. We gathered together and we had a course of Yuri Galata. That was our coach, business coach. And we had 5 interpreters there, 5 translators. It was very intense, I can tell you that. And after that year, there were 3 leaders chosen from the leaders team, and I was one of the leaders. So the board members asked me, are you interested to become a communication manager? And I said yes. So yeah, here they are, the board members. So we have Evgeny Kudryshov, that is a financial director. He's dealing with all the payment platforms. And that is a challenge. Then you have Irina Volkova, that she is the only female member, and she's an engineer. Then you have František Solar and Dr. Maslov. Those 2 are traveling around the world to see the new, possibilities of projects. And then you have Alexei Shukodyev, sorry. He's also an engineer, and but he's more busy with technology, blockchain technology and the lead system and the education. And I forgot to say that Mr. František is also an engineer and businessman, and Dr. Maslov, he is our lawyer and doctor in economics. So that's the man who gets my most difficult questions. So what is Skyworld Community? Skyworld Community is a crowdfunding platform. We are gathering the funds for Unitsky String Technology, yeah? And you can, through our platform, you can become a co-owner, a partner, or a co-owner and a partner like me. What is a partner? Somebody who is very active and tell the world that, this is a major opportunity and we can do something for our health, our happiness, our traveling, nature, and our finances. So what is Unitsky String Technology? Unitsky String Technology is a company who developed USky. USky is a transportation above the ground. It's innovative, so that means it does not exist yet. And it's hanging above the ground, yeah, like you can see in the picture. It is made of high string rails, and I will tell you all about it later because it is very unique. But because it's hanging above the ground, you can see there will be no traffic jams. And it's completely high-tech, and there's even space technology in there. So it's ecological top, and we can build anywhere. And we know nature is giving us challenges, and we know we all messed up, yeah. All the transportation everywhere around the world is blocked, traffic jams, and we give a very simplified, hassle-free, and smooth solution, clean solution for cargo and passenger. Cargo and passenger. And I know there's no effective solution at this moment. Why do I know? Because I was in full meetings in the port of Antwerp. Antwerp is the city, a port city in Belgium, a huge port, and they have major problems. And we came back there with engineers, we came back there with lawyers, and yeah, it's I was blown away. You see me here in the picture. I hold my head in my hand like, what are these problems? And they have these problems already for 12 years. So there's no effective solution. That's why I'm 100% of that. So what does Unitsky offer? Let me try to hide this floating control panel. Well, these are the vehicles we have, and there are even more at the moment because there's one extra. I will tell you all about it later. We started with this one, a Unibike and a Unibus. And Unitsky was focusing on passenger transportation, and that was good. But then the world demanded much more, much more. Yeah, you can see vehicles that grow bigger, vehicles that can stand very high temperature, low temperature, this one, high temperature, this one, sand, humidity, and then vehicles that are very light and can be built anywhere, then high speed, between 500 and 600 kilometers an hour, and then of course cargo, loose cargo, and containers. Yeah, so here we started with the Unibike for 2 people and the Unibus for 14 people, and here they are on the tracks. Yeah, people say, yeah, beautiful designs. No, we have them on the tracks. Even they are certified. Yeah, so they are certified to be used in real life. And this is the Unicar, remember the one I told you that can stand very high temperatures, sand and humidity. Here it is, you know, Unicar, Unitruck, loose cargo. I saw this vehicle load and unload in 3 seconds. 3 seconds. That's high tech, yeah? And then this is specially designed for loading containers or ships, yeah? And then the Uniwind. That's a special story here. Let me tell you the story. You see this picture at the left? This is a vehicle. This is a picture I took myself. And you see the people in the back, so it's quite big. It can lift 1 ton. And this is, it looks like if I show people this picture, they say this is a helicopter. No, it's not a helicopter. It is a drone, so it's remote control. There's no pilot in here. And it can lift 1 ton. So it can lift this anchor, yeah, and put it put it in place where we need it, and then with a helicopter the engineers and the technical people come and put it in the ground, so we can build it anywhere without destroying nature or the environment, anything, just lift it up there, bring it there. So this is a patent designed and patented by our CEO, and I will show you much more what this man did. This is one of my, well, it is my favorite, the Uniflash. I sat in it, here I am, with Unitrans exhibition, two times a year. Unitrans exhibition is for professionals. That's the biggest transportation fair in the world. It's in Berlin, and we showed this vehicle to the world. People were amazed. We had so much visitors. After 3 days, we were negative. We were really negative, but satisfied because so much positive reactions. And then the Unicont, it was an impulse of the harbor of Antwerp. They sent us to Unitsky. Well, the engineer who was with me went to Unitsky and say, hey, there's a big demand of containers. And the CEO said, well, we don't have time for that. And because we are focusing on passenger transportation. But then there was the pandemic, and here you go. We had time. $1 per 100 ton the kilometer. Can you imagine? $1 the 100 ton the kilometer. Can you imagine what an impact that will be on our goods, on our food? Yes. Do you realize what we have in our hands? So this is in Sharjah in the test park, and this is in Belarus. If you see grass, you know it's Belarus. If you see sand, you know it's in Sharjah. Yeah. Here, some technical people, engineers working at the engine and the chassis of the vehicle. And then this is the U-Light. The U-Light is specially made for tourism. And the Dalai Lama asked us to help him with his pilgrims. There's 1.5 million pilgrims each year that visit his monastery. And the area to go there is very, very remote. I see somebody raises their hands. You can ask me questions after the recording. So maybe best lower your hand, because otherwise I have this black thing here, or the team, please lower his hand, because otherwise this black thing. Thank you. So how does the Unitsky technology works? Let me reveal you the secret. You will be blown away. This is a metal frame, yeah, nothing special about it. But this is filled up with flexible concrete. So that means that the string rail can resist hurricanes, earthquakes, tsunamis, you name it, floods, yeah, because it's flexible, yeah, so it will not break. And then in there, you see all these white dots. These are cables, metal cables, 7 metal cables wrapped around each other like we do with rope. And then that makes it that the rail can bear very heavy load, 50,000 people in 1 hour. Can you imagine? 50,000 people in 1 hour? Yeah. And this flexible concrete is, by the way, a patent of our CEO. Then on top of that, of the rail, there is this metal, coating. And this is a special combination of metal. And this is also a patent of our CEO. And why is it so special? The wheel is also covered with it. And when the wheel drives over the rail, there will be almost no friction. So when there's almost no friction, that means almost no noise. And there's also not a lot of energy lost. So the vehicle doesn't need extra energy to move on. Yeah, so remember that, because the energy consumption is very low, and that is one of the factors. Yeah, and you can see we can also transport other things in the rails. And then the technology is 5 times smoother and 3 times stronger than a normal rail. Why? Because it's double anchored. You see here the red line and the red arrow. That is the double anchor. And these A and B are the normal anchors in the ground. We can build over water, we can build over mountains and over valleys. So there are many tracks, and these are some of them. Let me show you the most used one. This is the flexible one. The flexible one is exceptional because there can be between two pillars 5 kilometers. So you can imagine where we can build. Then you have the rigid one. The rigid one is for very heavy loads. Yeah, it's double one. You can see a vehicle hanging on underneath and one on top. This is, for example, between two big cities, or a city and a harbor, or a city and an airport, or a city and a station. Yeah. And then you see the semi-rigid that you can compare with trains and trams, in cities, but then above the ground. And the view is amazing. Yeah, you have a beautiful view of your city. Because I drove in these vehicles and it's nice, very nice. Then here's the engine. That's the heart of the technology. I told you the wheel, this is the wheel. You can see here the wheel at the two sides. It's also covered with this special metal combination. That is a patent of our CEO. And then you have the engine. The engine is completely new and it's also a patent of this our CEO and can run on any environment-friendly fuel. Any environment-friendly fuel. And here you see a 3D model of the rail. So what are the advantages? So you all saw that the vehicle don't have a common shape, yeah? Some people think it's a rocket, yeah? So why is the shape so abnormal? Well, it is because the aerodynamics. Aerodynamics are a challenge with our transportation. So the aerodynamics are expressed in CX. So the CX of a car is 0.4. Why? The air gets trapped underneath the vehicle and then swirls around at the back and pull the vehicle a little bit backwards. So that happens also with your car. So your car needs extra fuel to move on. Yeah, a Formula 1 car is already doing much better, but you see still the swirling here at the back. Yeah. Then Unitsky is in the air, so the air is not trapped. It's absolutely not trapped. So when this vehicle passes you, you will not hear it, you will not feel it, and the leaves on the trees will not move because the CX is 0.06. That's almost nothing. Yeah, can you imagine? And then, of course, we save up a lot of energy every year per vehicle. You see 880 tons fuel each year. Yeah, that's amazing. Each vehicle, each vehicle. Then all the other parameters. So when I was in the meeting of the port of Antwerp, they were amazed how little money it cost to build this technology. So the capital cost is very low. The operational cost, that is the maintenance, very low. Yeah, our CEO was very attentive of this. Then the energy consumption, I told you, it took him 40 years to develop this technology. Yeah, so the energy consumption is very low, but the capacity is very, very, very high, very high. Then the two last ones are very important for me personally. I think these are very important. That is the environment pollution is very low and the transport accident rate is very low. Our CEO is always saying that if 50% of the transportation will be taken over by Sky transportation, there will be 1.5 million people's lives saved every year, because that is the approximately rate of death because of accidents in transportation. And then the delivery time and the delivery costs. Wow, look at this, how good we're doing. Yeah, we can deliver a lot in a very little time. And then people tell me, yeah, Kat, but there are other transportations. I get a lot of messages of people. Did you see this? Did you see that? And yeah, let us compare. Let us compare. You have the monorail, you have the magnet levitation, and you have the hyperloop. And thank God they're all eco-friendly, yes? They're all safe. The hyperloop medium, but still safe, yes? But then you see the adaptability. They all need a flat ground before they can build their technology. Yeah, before the rails, the tracks can be built. Do you realize what effort, energy, time, and money it costs to build a flat ground in a hilly environment? That is amazing, yes. And Unitsky can build anywhere, no limits. We only have to have place for our anchors. Yeah, but then people say, yeah, God, but the Hyperloop is going 1,200 kilometers an hour. Yes, correct. And time is money, I know. But do you see the price tag? 100 million and more. The kilometer. A normal train track cost 22 million the kilometer. The train without the vehicle, the train track here, yeah, without the vehicles. So if you next time sit in a train, you will realize 22 million every kilometer, 22 million, 22 million, 22 million. Please realize that. Unitsky costs between 3 and 8 million the kilometer. It depends how big the tracks are, how the environment is it a double track, yes or no? So who was the genius behind this technology? Let me hide the floating control panel because this man is a genius. Oh, there we go again. This man, I love to introduce him because I met him twice in my life and he is a genius. He's absolutely a genius. So this is Dr. Anatoly Unitsky Eduardovich. Dr. Anatoly Unitsky Eduardovich. Remember that name. This man took 40 years of his life and he's now 73. Yes, 73. It took him 40 years of his life to develop this technology. Yeah, he has 150 inventions on his name. How many inventions do we all together in this room, yeah, have at this moment? Inventions. He has 150 inventions on his name. He wrote 20 monographies, that means books. And he wrote 200 scientific papers. I always say, if this man would be an actor, it would be world famous. But he's world famous, but for the engineer world and the science world, yeah. So I'm so glad that I met him. I talked to him. We sat down one time. He told me, ask me any question, sit down with me, he said, and ask me any question. And I did, 1.5 hours. He talked about his life, how he got there, how he got a vision when he was 6 years old, that he would change the transportation in the world. When he was in his 30s, I think, he even went to a psychology clinic to test him, because the people around in his life said to him that he was getting crazy about this technology. And he thought, oh, let's have a test then. And in the clinic, he said he was perfectly normal and he was very passionate and he should go on with his passion. So he did. And thank God, thank God. So here are some tests of him and designs of him. There's a museum in Belarus with all his designs. If you have a chance, go there. It is amazing. It's amazing. You just are astonished what this man did in his life. And this picture is him standing underneath his first test vehicle, by the way, that is still alive. It's renovated.
and it's shown off in Belarus in the test park. And this is his latest, the right picture is his latest design. That's Sky Space, and that is the idea and the technology to take all factories into space. All factories into space. So bye-bye factories, only a green planet. Can you imagine? I signed for that. So here are some, patterns from all over the world. You can see 150 patents. And he took the technology all over the world. And that's me standing with him and the engineer who introduced me to the technology. And these two gentlemen are employees who were with us in the Inotrans fair I told you about in the beginning in Berlin. And they were telling us the problems they have with the current train transportation. Yeah, it's the national, they were from the national train transportation company of Belgium, my home country. And they were telling us what problems they had and if Unitsky could solve them. And of course, Unitsky explained them what he could do for them. And they were very pleased with the result, very pleased. And by the way, everywhere where he comes, people are astonished that it's already existing. By the way, I was astonished myself. And so behind a strong man, there is a strong woman. And this is Madame Nadezhda. She is an engineer, but also a very good business lady. She takes care of the business, and she even got rewarded with a certificate in 2018 for good management. So yeah, wow, she's doing a good job. Thanks to her. So what is the production result? That means, what did we achieve together, all this money? What did we do with it? First of all, here is our office. This office is 9 stories high. It is located in Minsk, Belarus, the main city of Belarus. Belarus is an independent country between Russia and Europe. Yeah, and you see the address here. So in the beginning, we bought a small office. We sold it. We bought another office, bigger. It's a little bit bigger. But because we have 600 employees, where to put them? Yeah. So we sold the other one with profit, and we sold the bigger one. And here you go. This is our office. It is highly secured. You only can enter with a hand scan. Why? Because we have to protect the technology, of course. And underneath here, there's this beautiful picture with all the employees and some vehicles above them. And here it's the inside of the how the employees work. Then, by the way, the office is ours. It's not from a bank. It's ours. Yeah. This is also ours. This is our factory. And we started with this white and blue building in the back. This is the factory. Then we built another building, this blue one at the left side, and at the right side, the white blue one. Yes. Why? Because we had to expand. The world was demanding so much more than we had envisioned. And you can see here pictures. I told you about the tropical vehicle that could resist high temperatures, sand, and humidity. That's the one. You see here the engineers proudly showing off for the camera, yeah. And then this vehicle at the right is for very cold temperatures. And people tell me, Kat, these vehicles are completely made out of glass and they're in the air. Isn't that dangerous? Well, that's another patent of our CEO. This is smart glass. This glass can have a sharp vehicle impacted at 500 kilometers an hour, and it will not break. It also keeps the temperature, helps to keep the temperature in the vehicle very nice temperature. I was driving in it. It was outside a very warm day, and inside it was just very pleasant, very pleasant. Then we have a test park. The first test park is in Marina Gorka. That's 150 kilometers from Minsk. This was a swamp, a test area for the army, for the tanks. It was a not so nice place, and we made it a very beautiful place. You can see it here, yeah. What do we do here? We test the trucks, we test the vehicles, we certify them here. And I talked about this museum. Here's the museum, and the ground level, there's a museum only about his designs, the technology, his rewards, you know, Unitsky's rewards are wonderful. And then here, this little dot, that is this house. This is the eco house. This is a house completely made out of wood, and it's completely self-sufficient. There's a garden on top, and there are some fruit trees here, and there's a greenhouse there with vegetables. And in front of the house, there is a pond. And in that pond, there are lots of fishes. So why do we do that? When the delegates of other countries come to visit us to see the trucks and the vehicles, they get fish from our ponds, fruits and vegetables from our gardens. Why we do that? Because we want to show them this is real ecological transportation. It's completely not polluting anything. Yes, so that's the statement, correct? All right, the second test park is in Sharjah. A lot of people want to visit it. I always advise, please, at least a few months before, make sure that you contact them, because otherwise you will not be let in, because mostly there are only engineers there and technical people, and they are working there at the tracks. So sometimes it's not even allowed for public. So you need to know when to go. And these are some pictures of the test park in Sharjah. You can see here Unitsky showing off with the road sign. And this is a very special picture for me personally. Remember in the beginning, I told you I was a leader of the leaders team. And this is a part of the leaders team. Remember, the leaders team is 130 people from all over the world. We were invited to celebrate the first anchor in the ground in Sharjah. And that was that day. I will never forget it. It's a wonderful day. And we were so proud. Again, a big step forward. Then you see the last station that was built, and the rails are attached to it for cargo and passenger station in Sharjah. And this is one of the updates of the eco house there. This is the only wooden house in United Arab Emirates, because the wooden houses are not allowed to be built there, but we had the permission. And Unitsky is showing the world that the soil he is developing also to use in space, that this soil is can be used anywhere, even in a desert. Yeah, even in a desert. Let me let these people in. Okay, so you see this tree and the grass around it. You see how the plants growing over the eco house. It's a self-sufficient house with a garden inside. Yeah, so can you imagine what this man can do when he puts his mind on it? And of course, we got a lot of media. We started this meeting with the latest updates of the media. A very nice video, very nicely done. If you want to see it, go to my group, the Skyward No Millionaires, and look it up. It's a beautiful video. And we were also on CNN Business and Fox News. And then we had a tsunami of phone calls and emails, of course. We've been at the Expo 2020. We've been at the Expo Smart City India. Here's my colleague Said, who was there representing Skyward's community and did a very good job. And then this picture is very important. Let me hide this floating control panel. This is Dr. Anatoly Unitsky showing a certificate in his hand. Yeah. And this is a very important certificate. This is an approval of that Unitsky String Technology Inc. is a reliable and bona fide partner for business activities in Belarus and abroad. That means this certificate is telling us that in 2022 there will be a new transportation, in the world. So you have trains, trams, airplanes, trucks, cars, bicycles, you name it, and you will have Sky now in this year. Where is a big surprise? I know the 2 of the 4 projects that are in development are in stage 2, so soon we will have some news. Yes, we have to be patient. I know, and patience is not fun. I know myself, but still we have to protect the technology. So in Anambra State in Nigeria, they met the governorship, and he's looking for sustainable technology. And you see my colleague here, Christian, Ambassador Christian, telling the governor what is Sky all about, what is the technology all about. And like so many people, they were blown away and they approved it. So thanks to this man, governorship Charles Chukwuama Soludo, he is an innovative man and he will bring this technology into Nigeria. And also latest updates, and I have to get rid of the floating panel again. Rwanda and Lesotho. And Lesotho is here in very close next to South Africa, and Rwanda is, next to Congo, Kinshasa, Kenya, South Sudan, Central Republic. There you see Africa, you see Nigeria there. There's Rwanda. They are in communication to have Unitsky String Technology in their countries. And you see here the CEO of Sharjah explaining to them what it is all about, this technology. Yes, what it is all about. And of course, we had a lot of delegates visiting us in the test park in Belarus and in Sharjah. Sharjah is next to Dubai, by the way, and Sharjah is the university city of the United Arab Emirates. So what about you? What can you do? What is your benefit if you become a co-owner? Let me start. In 2014, we started with nothing, only a design of a genius, There was zero, nothing. So every step of the way, we sold and we bought. We sold shares and we bought, and we sold shares and we bought, and we bought and we bought. After the stage 8, there was no risk anymore because we have enough assets. If we sell everything, that we can pay back to all our investors, all the co-owners. At this time, we're in stage 14.2. And listen up, we do not have to finish the 15 stages to get our dividends. I will tell you all about it. So we're here in 52. So one little step till the end. And we have for every budget a package. We start with $50 a package, you get 800 shares. Then we even have packages with payoffs of 5 and 9 months. And in total, we have 400,000 investors. So what do you get in your hands? Now listen up. Please put down your other devices, close the door and listen attentive. Please focus and tell all your other people around you. These are dividend shares. Yeah, you can become a co-owner. You have two options, or you get your money back after 3 years with 4% interest, or you can become a co-owner of the technology. What you get in your hands? Dividend shares. That means you have a piece of the company in your hand as long as you keep this contract. As long as you keep this contract on your name, you will have dividends. Unitsky gives 100 years guarantees on the tracks. 100 years, 100 years. Where are you 100 years from now? That's why these shares are inherited. You can give this financial security, you can pass it on to your children and your grandchildren. So what you get? 20% of the profit of the company every year will be divided among the shares. The more shares you have, the more profit you will have. Yes, 20%. That's a lot. Normally, dividends give 6% of the profit. When will the company have profit? This year we have profit. We sold 4 contracts last year. 2 of them are in stage 2. Yes, we sold 4 contracts. 2 of them are already in stage 2. We have the prepayments in, and we have sophisticated machinery in our factory that we can already make parts for other companies. That's where the profit is coming from. Yeah, the profit will not be a lot the first 4 years. Why? Because then the small projects will finish one by one. After 4 years, the bigger projects will be finished. So the bigger profit will come in. So that's the whole situation with the dividend shares. And yes, you can sell them if we would go on the stock market. But would you sell the goose with the golden eggs? If somebody buys your shares, they will get rich for generations to come. Can you imagine that your grandfather bought some shares of a train railroad company? Yeah, they built train tracks. There are some companies who are 150 years old. Can you imagine your grandfather just bought a couple of shares, a good handful of shares at a very, very cheap price, dividend shares. Your family would be rich generations. Yeah, for many generations already. Why? Because that man took that decision then. So you have that possibility now in your hand. You can give your spouse and yourself and generations to come a financial security. Let that sink in, please. And then a lot of people ask me, what about the stock market? When are we going to go on the stock market? Now listen up. We do not have to go on the stock market to get dividends. We do not have stock market shares. We have A-class shares. A-class shares are shares that give dividend. So a return of your investment every year. Every year, the money is working for you. Passive income. You do not do nothing and the money is doing it for you. That is what you have in your hands. We are in the pre-IPO. The shares are very cheap, between 2 cents and 6 cents maximum. Yeah, so that's very cheap. If the company would go on the stock market with the B-class shares, the not so important shares that you buy and sell and hope to make some profit, yes, If we go on the stock market, if the stock market is stable and we have some projects up and running and everybody knows the technology and wants the P-class shares, if the P-class shares would go up in price, then the profit would go up in price of the company. And so 20% of that profit goes to divided amongst the shareholders' dividend shares. That's it. So that is the impact of the stock market. You do not have to go on the stock market with your shares. If you sell your shares, then somebody else will get rich with it. So we also passed successfully the audit. What's an audit? Well, it's a whole procedure of paperwork and investigation if this company is healthy. And yes, this company is healthy. Every year we surpass it. And then the roadmap, very important. A lot of people ask me this. So how does it work? Well, to start up a project, first you have the pre-visibility study. That is among 6 months, around 6 months. If we work together with a company that is knowing what is in the ground, that has already experience with building, then it goes quicker. Yes, and then you have the design. It's between 12 and 8 months, but that can go together with the construction, the delivery of equipment and the rolling stock. This can go together. And then, of course, the startup, personal training and commissionings. And afterwards, we give the tracks still 2 years guarantee. We keep, drones will fly next to the rails, see what an impact it has. If there's, keep an eye on it for 2 years, because Unitsky, gives a guarantee for 100 years. So the next months in use is very important. So 4 of the projects are already in this stage. From the 4 projects, 2 of the projects are already in this stage. The pre-visibility is very important, to know what's in the ground, to know the environment, the impact of the environment on the vehicles and so on. You can imagine. So I will always say, get shares of this rapidly growing transportation company, because we're rapidly growing. And how do you do that? You give your name, email, and your best email and your phone number to the person who invited you here. If you have nobody, please contact my team or put it in the chat. We contact you. And then also, so you get a personal back office. You can choose your password, and of course you have to enter with your email. Please be aware, last week I got a message from somebody again, that he noticed on time, thank God he noticed on time, that when he Googled Skyway or he Googled Skyworld Community, and he wanted to find his back office, browser address, that he saw that he didn't recognize the address. And it's true, there are hackers. There are hackers. On Google, there are hackers. So what they do, they change a little bit in the name, and you Google it, and you start from there, you upload money, and your money is gone. We cannot do anything about it, anything. So this man was very attentive and said, something wrong here. So he contacted me and said, what is the login from our back office? And I sent it to him. And he told me that is not what I found on the internet. And I told him, please send this browser address to you in an email, and start from that email, please. Start from that email. Do it, please. Because yes, they're still there. They're still hackers on the net, and they will not disappear. So what about the shares? I told you shares are still very cheap, between 2 cents and 6 cents each. For example, let's take the package of $1,000. This is a package paid in one time, you get 30,000 shares. 30,000 shares. I remember buying 400 shares of $40 from Tesla at $46, and I sold them at 84, and I thought, wow, made a big profit. This is nothing comparing with, that was nothing comparing with this. Yes, so you get 60,000 shares, 60,000 shares. And remember, the first 4 years will not be a lot, but after the 4 years, the big profit will come in from the big project, and then you will be blown away. So for the smallest budget, $50, you get 800 shares, 6 cents each share. The more you buy, the less you pay for each share. Then there's something special. If you start, you receive a link, you click on the link, you make that you do your KYC, you upload your money, and you paid your first payment, you will get 10% on top. So you have 7 days to do this. It is reachable, easy, if you don't start before a weekend. So always start after the weekend. After the weekend, you have 7 days easily, yeah, to buy a package. Upload your documents, get verified, upload your money, do the first payment, or one-time payment, doesn't matter, and you get 10% on top. But this is also for the other packages that you can pay off in months. You can see here, yeah, it's the same. If you start, the first package you buy, so this 1,000 package, the package of $1,000, you get 28,000 shares. You pay off $200 each month for 5 months. And if you start a double payment, that means if you start with $400, you get $1,000 on top, shares on top. So that means 28,000 shares. And then if you take advantage of the 10%, you get 2,800 on top even, yeah? So use these opportunities, use these promotions, yeah? And you can see here also, the shares are very, very cheap, very cheap. And there's a challenge, a company challenge. Skyway community does a lot of promos and challenges that you can participate on. And this challenge, you can win a discount of 1 to 100. What does it mean? For $1, you get 100 shares. So if you buy for $1,000, you get 100,000 shares. Yeah, that's big. That's a big discount. They also, after this challenge that will go to the end of the year, they also give away 1 million shares for a winner. Then we have the app. It's a free app. You can see it here. You click in on your Play Store, Skyworld's community, SWC. This is our logo. This is my phone. You can put it in English. What can you see? Everything you can see on your laptop. You can see your shares. You can see the money you upload. You can see your team. You can see the latest news. Everything you can see on your laptop. Okay. Oh, something is popping up here. All right, then here are some addresses. Yeah, watch out. We have a new company website. Did you see it? It is very nice. I clicked on everything. Wow, it is very nicely done. Very professional. I love it, really. And I have a personal request. Our CEO, Unitsky String, Dr. Anatoly Unitsky, has Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube channel. Yeah, go there, please, and say hello to him. Say hello, say thank you, say how much you admire his technology, why you became a co-owner, whatever you tell him some good things. Remember, this man is 73. He doesn't need to work anymore, but he's still doing it for humanity, for us and the next generations to come. So please, please, please give him something back. just a shout out, you know, thank you, sir, amazing, I admire you, we love you, whatever, yeah, he will love it, and he looks at it himself. So please go there, and here's some pictures of the new website. You can click on all of this, and then things open, information. Wow, yeah, it's wow, it's very nice, very nice. So unitsky.com is now ust.inc, yeah. And you can also reach me. This is my email, india@skyway.capital, because I'm responsible for India too. Then this is my WhatsApp number. Then when I was on the fair in Berlin, remember that I told you about, after working hard the whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we sat down, exhausted, really. And the right hand of Unitsky came and sit next to us and said, wow, you know, congratulations, you did great. Yeah. He said, let me leave it, let this person in. He said, well, you did great, and we are doing great, because he showed his telephone, personal telephone, and he said, look at this, we get invitations from all over the world. Huge companies want to work together with us now. And he said, the people, the co-owners who have dividend shares in their hands are the new millionaires of the world, but they don't know it yet. So I said to my colleague, Ambassador Christian, wow, that is a very good name for a Facebook group. And now we have 11,000 people in our group in Facebook. 11,000 people, and still 1,000 people waiting to be approved. And that's a really, really difficult job, because there are also, you know, not so nice people to want to get in and destroy the community. So I have to pick them out, and it's a very difficult job, but I'm doing good. But anyway, we are now with a community of 11,000 people and growing. Yes, you can find me on Facebook. Look for me on Facebook. If you need the Facebook link, my team will put it in the chat. And we have a YouTube link. We can also put it in the chat. We have a Telegram and an Instagram. Please go there, contact me, because I respond personally. Yeah, so any question in that chat, I respond personally. Yeah, so thank you for your interest and our teamwork, because we're doing it together. Like Unitsky says, I'm building this technology not for governments, but I do it for the people. And yes, this technology was built for the people, by the people. So hope to see you next Saturday with the Q&A. It's always much more fun for you to be with us. And I will stop the recording and hopefully see you live. Thank you very much.